Okay, gang, I'm going to go over 3.3 number 35. So the first thing you want to do is rewrite the radical as its fractional equivalent, which is x to the 1/2. All right, since it's a fraction, I want you guys to do the quotient rule on this. I know things can get converted to the product rule, but I'd like you guys to get the quotient rule down. All right, so here we go with the quotient rule. So it's the denominator, as is, times the derivative of the numerator. Okay, now you do minus the numerator times the derivative of the denominator, all over the denominator squared. All right, so that's the derivative. The derivative is complete. At this point, we're just going to be simplifying that, okay? So there wasn't really much here for me to combine first. I do like to combine before I pull out the common factor, but there wasn't really much to combine, so I just went right to the common factor. So let's look at what the common factor will be. You have positive 1/2 here, negative 1/2 here. So negative 1/2, x to the negative 1/2 is the common factor because it's the smallest exponent. And I also mentioned in other lectures that you cannot leave fractions inside fractions. That's not considered simplified. So this 1/2 here, you have to force it out. It's not actually a common factor, but it cannot stay. So you're going to put it out there with the common factor as well, because you cannot hand in a complex fraction as an answer. Okay, so that's why I chose this as my common factor, all right? So for the first one, you have to counterbalance the 3, right? Because the front half doesn't have a half. So it's a little easier to go backwards. So 1/2 times 6 is 3. Now you have to pull out an x to the minus a half, right? So you start with this. This is like your bank. So the bank is like a 1/2. You're withdrawing or taking out a negative 1/2, right? But since you have the double negative, you're going to add. So that ends up being a 1, which is why this is x to the 1. And remember, in calculus and upper level mathematics, we don't write a 1 there because that looks like prime to us. We now have a new, it looks like something, could be something like this to us. So you have to be careful. All right, then I bring down the minus sign, and then from the second half here, I take out the half, and I take out the x to the negative 1/2. So the only thing that's left in the back half is this. Now you have to be careful on this one because these are what we would call essential parentheses, and they're essential because they're being multiplied by a negative, meaning I have to subtract both of these terms, not just the first one. So now when we keep simplifying, I'm actually going to distribute this negative to both, and I did it above here so you can see this is this, and then a negative times a negative is positive. All right, so now if we combine this, 6x minus 3x is 3x and then plus 1. So we get that right here from this. Now, multiplying by 1/2 is the same thing as dividing by 2. And then this guy is negative, so you can flip it down. And I added an extra step here just to be safe, just to be clear. Safe isn't the right word. I guess that's a factor of everybody telling me to be safe all the time. All right, it's just to be clear. I'm bringing this down here because these are the same base. So since they're the same base, you want to add the exponents. So you have a 1/2 plus 1, which is 3/2. All right, so when they're next to each other, you add the exponents. When it's one base and 2 exponents, you multiply the exponents. So just make sure you get this rule and this rule straight. They're different. This one base, 2 exponents, you multiply. This one, 2 base, 2 exponents, they're neighbors, you add. And you get that. Okay, gang, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll catch you in another one. Bye-bye.